Welcome back to Views with Hughes or Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. So, another scoop has been leaked out there from Sparrow going to Cameron Pashaw last night, stating that there's a big shakeup at Lucasfilm where it's rumored that Kathleen Kennedy most likely has been either banned or probably denied access to Lucasfilm. Okay, so it was stated within the scoops that Sparrow reported Kathleen Kennedy was denied access to Lucasfilm office yesterday despite her request and even with a supervisor accompanying her. Now, this rejection actually shocked Kathleen Kennedy, who is now planning to hold a meeting in Burbank with Disney executives, including Bob Iger, to express her outrage and try to push for permission to return. Now, I guarantee you all that this has left her humiliated because, like, they say that she was shocked, like she's the president of Lucasfilm, the head honcho of the company, if you will. And then come to find out she's actually denied access to entering the buildings. Now, this comes in light of the recent rumors and schools where Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger have often been shown that where they were having meetings and also having shouting matches to the point where Kathleen Kennedy would just possibly usurp his authority and questioning him about the success of previous movies under Pixar as well as Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios. Okay. But here's the interesting thing, though. It's not necessarily certain about, where she's wants to express her outrage and try to push for permission to return, but this humiliation of being kept off the premises of the building of the headquarters is really taking a toll on her. Now, remember, take this as a rumor with a grain of salt. Now, it's also uncertain whether she's going to have an opportunity to meet with Bob Iger again during her visit to Burbank, since his schedule is probably too busy to try to meet with Kathleen Kennedy herself. Now, Sparrow also provided another update stating that the Five Horsemen are also targeting Kathleen Kennedy loyalists with Lucasfilm, pressuring them to resign. Meaning they're trying to pressure the Flying Monkeys, if you will, which is a reference from Wizard of Oz, to the point where Kathleen Kennedy is a Wicked Witch of the West, and the Flying Monkeys who support her are ones that's doing her bidding. Okay, but with that being said, the pressure is especially intense for her Flying Monkeys in the story group, who are being assigned demeaning tasks in hopes that they'll quit. One task will include one particular monkey who was also participating in crossing out the Luke Skywalker with the big X, as y'all might have remembered from the Disney Plus documentary series, where at Lucasfilm, each reference of like a picture of Luke Skywalker that's up on a wall or even a cubicle, a big red X was crossed on his face. Now, this person has been ordered to write a story memo highlighting the importance of Luke Skywalker to the history, culture, and franchise of Star Wars. Now, the purpose behind this is to remind, those who work for Lucasfilm, and right now, as well as in the future, about how significant the original characters are in the Star Wars universe, and they need to be protected at all costs. Now, remember, this is a rumor. It hasn't yet been confirmed, but if it is true, it may be confirmed sometime later in the nearest future. And then, if it's true, then this is a bit of interesting piece of detail that's been leaked out there to the public. Okay. Now, one thing to actually consider, however, is that the real purpose behind these tasks is to create a sense of discomfort or a sense of uneasiness among those who support the woke creative direction of Lucasfilm, particularly this person included. All right. Now, the aim is to actually push them to point to where they try to have to go ahead and resign and then seek employment somewhere else. They're trying to go ahead and try to create pressure, give them like certain tasks to do, to the point where they've had enough, they're fed up with it. I might as well just go ahead and resign and try for a better place to work at. Okay. Now, the issue with this is that, well, if it's this is a rumor so far. Okay, so it's basically speculation, and then usually Sparrow has often been proven to be right. Okay, and I understand where you all might have thought that, you know, Sparrow has shared some of the leaks where, you know, Kathleen Kennedy was basically done, and there was no more Star Wars stuff coming from her. But then, you know, with the Star Wars Celebration 2023 happening, she made the announcements of a so-called Rey movie as well as other Star Wars projects. So my guess is that there might have been a certain flip on her part where she would actually try to do something as a last minute the sense of desperation to go ahead and try to keep her job at Lucasfilm and not be forced out at the company. Okay. So this is yeah, I'm taking everything that Sparrow is saying as rumor until it's otherwise confirmed. All right. And as we all should do. Now, Sparrow also noted that the demeaning assignments are just one aspect of Now School's tactics against Kennedy and her supporters. Now, the Black writers themselves have compiled like a certain list of those who are loyal to her and the cause and will continue to increase the pressure on them to resign, much like they're doing with Kathleen Kennedy herself until they surrender and give up their support for her. All right. Now, these are really some interesting things that came out into light after all the years of us hearing about the leaks of that she might be fired, she might not get a contract extension, or she might resign, and then also getting the several different years of the virtue signaling with the characters that reflect her, if you will. And it's like now we're seeing that the fans are winning. The audience is actually showing that they have a say so, okay, because of the fact that we choose to vote with our wallets keep our money from them and send it to somewhere else that we deem as suitable for entertainment for us. Now, this pressure they should have seen this a long time ago. They should have realized that instead of listening to the different investors from BlackRock and everything, as well as those who are a part of Reimagine Tomorrow, they should have continued to listen to the fans, okay? And this is also on Bob Chapek because he's the one that approved of these things as well. Kathleen Kennedy put out there, Bob Iger approved of these things, as well as the fact that he's majority owner of the company. He could have been done something about it to put more pressure on her. Now, there was also stated that there was a particular item within the contract when Lucasfilm was sold to Disney where Kathleen Kennedy wasn't able to be fired at all. Okay, so that meant that she knew what she was doing and that knew what she was doing would lead her to be fired in some way. Okay, but other than that, we're actually seeing that these things are starting to come into fruition. Okay, so if these things are true, hold on tightly, folks, because it's going to get even uglier. Okay, so let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Let me know what went wrong in the video. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts that you might have in this particular matter. What do you think is going to happen with Kathleen Kennedy? Do you think that she'll be resigned, or they're just going to go ahead and force her out? Or will there be a vote of no confidence happening, if you will? So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on any particular thing that's not touched up upon related to this topic in this video. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead and smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.